What it do, Niner fam? Next up, OG. OG of the OGs, Charles Haley. You feel me? Now, Charles Haley was a complete beast. Okay. And let me explain something to you, man. The Niners do not win Super Bowls without Charles Haley. These are facts. These are facts. And people, football is football. I understand it's a team sport and everything else. And because they talk about, oh, one man can't. Yes. Okay. He would have been considered, you know how Myles Garrett is a beast, right? Myles Garrett is a beast for the Browns. He's a beast. Myles Garrett. Imagine Myles Garrett 10 times better. That's Haley. And people like, damn, Myles Garrett is a beast. Imagine 10 times better. Haley. Haley was a beast with the Niners, man. You can go look at some of his footage. He was getting to the QB. He's a complete disruptor. See, they was changing game plans with Haley. So if you talking about a double team and this, that, and the man, it was in him. The viciousness was in him. Okay. Now let's check out some of his stats. Hold on. Okay, because Charles Haley, his career was, he had a big career. He had a big career. I'm saying, and then he went to another team that I ain't too happy with. But this is Charles Haley, so we got to be respectful for his whole career. Okay. Now you look at his solo tackles, 109. Look at the sacks. 100.5. I mean, look at intercept. Come on now, man. Haley was a beast. Okay. Now, it's a few things with this, though. You know what I'm saying? It's a few things with Haley. So hold on, let's get into it. Give me one more second. All right. Now, you can see he had a career that spanned over like 12 or 13 years. Okay. From 86 to 99. Okay. Now, like I said, he went to another team that I wasn't too fond of, especially at those times. And look at the times. Okay. You can see what he did with the Niners. Balling. Okay. And then he goes down to Dallas. Okay. And people say, why would he go to Dallas? Why would he go to Dallas? Okay. It's a reason. It's a reason he went to Dallas. We're going to get into that in 1 second. But if you look at his stats, usually when you get rid of people or time goes on and then teams, you look at Dre Greenlaw. Dre Greenlaw, he's with the Broncos. He ain't even playing. And the whole little thing with Dre Greenlaw, the injuries. The injuries is what it is. So, we wanted him, but we knew he was injury prone. So, okay, his career kind of, I ain't saying Dre Greenlaw's completely bad, but we know we got the best years up out of him. So it's like with the Niners, you would think that, okay, we got the best years up out of him. But it seems that when he went down to Dallas, he was still balling. Okay. And that kind of came back to haunt us, man. Crazy. Okay. But the sack total is the thing, though. 100. But let me get into the reason why he went down to Dallas. Hold on. All right. The 49ers traded Charles Haley to the Dallas Cowboys in 92, primarily due to his volatile personality and clashes with head coach George Seifert. Now, that means, he's getting into it with the coach all the time. He had big personality. And it wasn't a big personality. Okay, I know Charles Haley. A lot of people know Charles Haley, but they got a lot of young people. If you in certain areas, you remember how Terrell Owens was. Terrell Owens had big personality. And, the problem with Terrell Owens had, he was stuck in a transition where they were able to be like that. And then the new generation coming in where they weren't having it no more. They would just trade you. And notice how Terrell Owens, when he left from the Niners, he went to Dallas. See, this was a common theme. This was a common theme between Niners and Dallas. This was a common theme. I know some people say, hey, well, Deion Sanders went out. Yes. Now, this is kind of like before they had to be able to put that salary cap on there. Saying stop that money, stop that from paying them, just giving them any money. You know what I'm saying? See, back then, you know, that money talks. You gotta understand, you feel me? So it says because he got in the clash with George Seifert, the head coach, which were seen as disruptive to team chemistry and the organization's short-term and long-term interests. Those are big words for we can't control them. That's basically we can't control them. That's what it was. That's just what it was. You know what I'm saying? He would have benefited greatly from a person like Saleh as a defensive coordinator at that time. See, because you got to be able to control somebody. You got to be able to. It's a controlled chaos. You got to be able to. You know, he's gonna be who he is, but you want to be able to have that completely on the field. And if it's all over the place, if it's on the field and then it's in the locker room, then it's towards the coaches, you can't control it. Okay, and it says while Seifert admitted the decision was a mistake, yes, that helped the Cowboys win multiple Super Bowls. One guy. Okay. The trade was an attempt by the 49ers to improve team cohesion and manage a disruptive player. Now, like I said, later on, Seifert said it was bad. He shouldn't have did that. If anything, see now, and a lot of teams learned from that. That's why you have teams like the Lions that sit down Megatron. You don't go anywhere. You don't play nowhere. You don't play. You're still under contract. You're not going anywhere. They'll just sit you down. And they just hold your contract. They won't let you go anywhere else. See? But now, you know, they got, even if you're getting some draft picks, you know this person is too valuable. No, you're not going to play. You're not going anywhere. Just sit down. Really, the Niners should have did that with certain players. Brandon Ayuk. Okay? You want to act like this? Sit him on the bench. Sit him down. Because now they just throw money at the problem. When you had somebody like Haley, who was a complete beast, he was a game changer. You know, wherever he goes, he's going to change the game. He's going to change the game. Let's go for recently, and I ain't going to say recently, but a person who did something like that similar was when the Raiders got rid of Khalil Mack. Remember when Gruden got rid of Khalil Mack, which didn't make absolutely no sense. But as a Niner, I'm laughing because it was to the Raiders. He got rid of Khalil Mack for all those draft picks. Khalil Mack goes to a whole nother team, and I think the Bears did get to the Super Bowl. I'm thinking they did. I don't think they won it, but I think they got to the Super Bowl. You get rid of Khalil Mack for all those draft picks, and you didn't hit on none of them. None of them. And to this day, none of them draft picks are... None of them. You didn't, nothing. They're just, none of them were there. None of them are there. You didn't do nothing. Okay. So one disruptive player. I mean, and one player that you thought was disruptive, even though he was the glue that was keeping the locker room together. So, you know, hold on. One more thing about Charles Haley. Hold on. Now, he is the first player in NFL history to win 5 Super Bowls. The first player. So he could have won 4 with the Niners and then with Dallas. I'm saying Haley was a member of the 2 49ers championship team Super Bowls before his trade to Dallas. And he earned 3 more Super Bowl rings during his first 4 seasons with the Cowboys. So, you know, Haley has always been a beast. Always been a beast. Okay? Always been a beast. But hold on, let me show you one more thing. Now, as you see in his last year, he came back to the Niners. His last year, he came back to the Niners. By that time, he was older and it was really done. But he did come back to the Niners. So let me know what y'all think about Charles Haley. I'm saying, leave it in the comments. You're Hall of Famer, you're a beast. Got to give you respect. Leave it in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Peace. I'm out of here.